Croatia. Located in the heart of Europe with landscapes that whisper tales of ancient beauty. A country where the Adriatic Sea meets vast mountain ranges and where nature embraces history. Adventure country tracks where every trail tells a story, every pass ignites a spirit of adventure, and where every new destination fuels the desires of adventure bike riders.
I've done the one in the UK and I thought that was really good fun, but this one is epic.
12 Riders, a compilation of committed partners from the industry and our media team, take on the challenges of the 7th edition of the Adventure Country Tracks.
It was so nice, the riding, the landscape just kept getting better. Like throughout the whole days, it kept building up.
With a growing community of members from all over Europe and sometimes even beyond, the ACT Club provides one more top-class track to its collection of legal-to-ride trails that are especially suited for adventure bike riders. Scouted and rated by our experts, ACT Croatia provides 5 adventurous stages with probably the most off-road percentage of all previous ACTs.
It is exhausting, it is hot, and it's probably the most difficult track we've done so far.
A solid connection of the riders and their bikes, advanced experience in riding various and sometimes difficult terrain, and, most important, our personal endurance will be put to the test. And with the biggest group so far on the track, it's time to meet our riders. Elvio Andrade from Portugal, one of the ACT's founding fathers and Touratech representative. Charlie Bowman from the UK, who has probably inspired a whole generation of riders to set off for new adventures. Felipe Elias from Portugal, ACT track scout and track manager, who's always looking to create the best experience for you. Mirko Nagler from Germany, representing Nax helmets, but who's also one of the founding pillars of the ACT itself. Teresa Peters, representing Revit, adventure seeker from Germany and with us for the 3rd time in a row. Benedikt Reiwald, German Yamaha ambassador and our first ever wildcard rider. David Reinhardt, Touratech Ireland partner and tour and logistics provider for motorcycle adventures with Overlanders. Roderick van der Heyden, Revit representative and motorcycle enthusiast from the Netherlands. Lutz from Steinitz, Garmin product expert from Germany, joining us for the first time this year. Tobias Wachter from Edelweiss Bike Travels, a familiar Austrian face to the ACTs since the Pyrenees. Martin Wickert, working for the Touratech headquarters and, for us more important, had the initial idea to start the whole ACT project. Last but not least, Ralf Wiesenfeller, German ambassador for Harley-Davidson and off-road instructor. And after our mandatory preparation day, where we fit all of our gear, set up communication devices and prepare our bikes, 12 riders from 6 different countries are ready to put their tire marks on a brand new track this year, starting in the Kamenjak National Park, south of Pula, on the Istrian Peninsula. What a spot to start exploring, especially when you're here early in the morning.
Oh, it's a very fascinating location. I mean, it's a national park, you have to pay a little bit of money for it to get in. But it's a very spectacular coastline. It's this jungle kind of style thing here at the end of the peninsula is just a perfect place to start.
It's 1 year of waiting, and then when the things start to get prepared and the scouting actions start, we start hearing stuff, so how the track is, creating expectations, everything getting ready. So then you start getting that little nervous around you. And we have great expectations for the Croatia track because many people say it's a beautiful country. And also Felipe and Stefan have been on the track and the feedback is just great.
It's another country, another landscape. I think here we have a lot of off-road. But I think the most special thing here is the landscapes on the mountains with the sea in the background. It's amazing.
Last year was my first time with ACT and with all of you guys, and I was so impressed that I decided to get a little bit more involved. And then when they told me that, the only thing I said from the last one was, "Can we go somewhere warm?" and no rain. And so we came to Croatia, and it rained all last night, and it might rain today, but it's lovely and warm. But no, I mean, I think it's really nice. And you know, in the UK, the ACT is actually quite strong in the UK, and it's a fantastic place to come to download some routes if you're coming to here to Croatia or any of the other places that the ACT have routes, and they're all designed for big bikes like this. So if you have a big adventure bike and you want to go somewhere, find these tracks, because you'll never find them on your own. And I think that's the beauty about the ACT. So that's why I'm back, not for the sun, but for the adventure.
So this year we have 2 Fords with us. The cars are not for carrying our own luggage, no. We have 1 car for the media team, so we have all the camera gear in there, and of course the camera crew. And the other one is an organizational car, which makes sure that in case and happening we have a drive, but also to prepare the hotels in the morning and the evening to give us more time to do the actual ride.
A lot of preparation has to be done before a project like this takes place. So, time to introduce you to that part of the team working behind the scenes and behind the cameras. Karin Birkel from the Black Forest in Germany is our organizational part and also partner of the ACT with the company Good Souls. Even if she's involved into this project since the beginning in 2016, this will be her first time with us on the actual track, together with Martin Molenberg from the Netherlands, who just jumped in as a helping hand and driver. Together they will build our Team Orange, driving the Raptor and following our group. Team Blue and the Bronco are Katja Wickert, photographer, traveler, and with us since day one of the project in Portugal, as well as Canan Gündoğan, videographer and filmmaker with a strong passion for adventures in 4x4s, also part of the ACT team since the beginning. Riding ahead, falling behind and catching up again. 2 more riders on motorcycles are joining this trip behind the scenes. Claudius Basilescu, action and extreme sports photographer from Romania, with us for the first time this year. And a face known from day one, Stefan Klabunde, filmmaker, adventurer and creator of the ACT movies. So now it's time to get ready and to officially start riding the ACT Croatia for the first time and to inspire you to follow our trails.
Good morning, everybody. This is day one in Croatia for the ACT tour, and we're just heading towards our first little bit of off-road. We've got bikes to the back of us, and bikes to the front of us, and the sea over here. Just a quick thanks to everybody who's gotten involved. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
So this is it. With our wheels touching the gravel after leaving Pula behind in the south, we are right there where we wanted to be. Smooth tracks, fairly easy to ride for the start, are taking us further up north and into the heart of Istria. Often overseen if you're just heading straight for the coastline, but a wonderful place to roam around and get a good warm-up for what's still to come.
Here we are on this beautiful road. Look how pretty this is. Just stunning. And everybody seems super friendly here. I think they're very pro motorcycles in Croatia here. And without even realizing it, they are naturally capable of taking motorcycle tours like this. Look at this. Look how pretty this is.
With time flying by and after our early start in the morning, it's time for our first trackside lunch break that has established over the years. And it's time to reflect on the first impressions of the day.
Oh, very nice. We've been on a small, windy little gravel road, and yeah, really promising. Nice surface, very consistent, not a lot of bumps, and so it's a nice start, I must say. Yeah.
Yeah, today it started quite nice. Lots of nice corners, nice asphalt roads, and then we went into the off-road section, and it was not too difficult in the start. For me, it was a year ago. I was riding on the gravel and the rocks, so I had a nice, easy start to get a bit familiar with the terrain. So that's quite nice that you're not immediately going into the deep end.
Yes, I like it when it starts a little bit easy, because it's the first day off-road. Everybody maybe go a long time not off-road, and the first day must be an easy day, in my opinion, because you can try everything what you maybe learn in the last years. Yes, I'm now 4 weeks off-road on a bike. I don't need an easy day, but I like it. The tracks, the country, everything is very beautiful.
The second half of day one, where winding gravel roads will go hand in hand with curvy tarmac bits and ever-changing elevation. It will be the longest stage of the ACT in Croatia, and even if the tracks offer a good pace, you should plan for an early start as well. You might probably know the saying that you should stop when it's best.
This is the life.
The final stage of day one. Truly beautiful forests bringing us closer to the end at the outskirts of Rijeka. Also a good place to find a huge variety of accommodation, a chance to refuel and to stock up with supplies for the next days when the ACT Croatia is getting more and more remote. With 220 kilometers and an off-road percentage of 50%, day one can easily become a long day on the bike, even if this stage is rated easy in terms of difficulty. So crossing the backcountry of Istria, starting in Pula and leading towards Rijeka, will give you a good start and a brief outlook on what more is just to come.
So how was the night?
Short.
Short? Yeah, very short. There was some noise. I thought there was a party or something downstairs.
Oh my God.
And then someone was starting to sing very loud, and I was like, oh, this will be a good night.
Yeah.
But actually, it was okay.
Yeah, they were singing a little loudly, but then, I mean, I felt like it was in my room.
Yeah.
But they stopped.
Good morning, my friend.
As steep climbs don't look so steep on camera, the same is for our early starts. Breakfast at 6, leaving at 7.
Day two will be our first really adventure day on the mountains with the nice views. I think, the real adventure starts today.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. I think today is a little bit more off-road than yesterday. And yeah, you know my favorite part is off-road riding. Seems like that it's going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday, so we need to drink a lot. But yeah, I'm quite excited, but also yesterday was a long day. But yeah, gravel is waiting for us, so always great day.
Yeah, I can't wait. The whole reason we're here is to ride some motorcycles. I have toilet paper just in case. You never know, always better to be prepared.
Let's just hope we don't have to be witnesses. With our briefings each morning, the riders are getting their time schedule for the day, the distance to ride, and a first outlook on what to expect on the track. day 2, remote and far off the grid for the most time, so refueling and getting some water for the ride is mandatory.
Good morning, welcome to ACT Croatia day 2. We have an early start, it's now 7. We had breakfast around 6ish and a little briefing. And now we're leaving to a long off-road day. We left Istria yesterday evening. And today we will go we travel further south, always with a view on the ocean, as you can already see here.
We are at the coast. We are going south today. We just have passed Rijeka. We did a little shortcut to avoid the city traffic in the morning. And now we are pretty much the first ones on the coastal road, so no RVs in the morning. And this might be a place you know from your Croatia holidays. So basically what we are doing now is just hit the coastal road, but not for too long, because in a few kilometers we will go up in the mountains and then we will have a beautiful view from the top.
When you exit the village after crossing the A7, this road would not look like the first choice to enter a great adventure. But as soon as we are climbing up, the rewards are popping up in front of our wheels. Forgotten, not maintained for years, and in bad condition, the road surface disappears more and more, uncovering beautiful gravel tracks with the island of Krk just a stone's throw away.
This is the beginning of the off-road on the day 2, and it's the first time that we see the signs of the recent war here in Croatia. We're gonna have more during the day, but these are the first one. And this place, it's beautiful with amazing view. We can see the big bridge there, and yeah, looking forward for the rest. The people are gonna love it for sure.
Yeah, so the start of day 2 is exactly one of the founding pillars of the ACT. It's going to the places where normally the tourists don't go. It's about bringing movement, bringing also some money into the populations that are more isolated. And here is exactly what is happening. We are living in the touristic area where all the guys from other countries come for summer vacations, and we go into places that are more unknown, more remote, and where you experience adventure in a different way.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing what I love about the ACT. So going there where normally no tourists are, or if they are tourists, they're adventurous as well, and so that's good to meet them.
Oh, look at this morning. Terrain has changed a little bit on day 2. It's crystal delicious warm, 21 degrees. We have a full day's riding ahead of us on day 2 of the Adventure Country tracks. Everybody seems to be on fine form this morning, and look how just beautiful. So you could come here too and ride all of these roads, which is just super exciting.
With the coast more or less in sight most of the time, we experience the difference between the crowded holiday destinations just a few kilometers down the hill and the remoteness of the first mountain range that climbs up from the sea.
You promised us we could see the sea all day. Now we're just in the jungle.
Well, Charlie, you ordered some views? Here they are. And look how stunning it is. The riding could just go on forever on this part of the ACT.
I was thinking, whose horrible voice is that? Is what I was thinking. And then I realized it was mine.
Guys.
This is the life.
Who's this?
Isn't it? Just...
After this more than fantastic bit of landscape, the track continues further into the backcountry. Tiny curvy roads mixed with deep gravel parts that make your front wheel loose from time to time. Day 2 just doesn't stop to surprise us with a variety of tracks, landscapes and unique spots along our way.
Kann ich einfach hier bleiben.
Okay, so Teresa, now for the record book. How was it the second time? Did it feel any better? Okay.
This is the perfect terrain for the wide range of adventure bikes we're traveling on, and some first-hand inspiration about what you can do on bikes of a size from the Tenere 700 upwards. So regardless if it's the GS, the Tiger 1200, the Pan America or one of the other bikes, the ACT is just made for them. All you need is some training, experience and confidence.
Today was completely different, change of landscape more or less, and also change of surface a little bit. Really nice riding though, and really nice views. You kind of from the morning on we start to go up to this mountain ridge, and from there it was really spectacular, and from there on we kind of winded through the mountains, and yeah, really nice riding.
It was a lot of off-road as we were promising, and a lot of loose gravel, a lot of dirt, so...
It was actually a lot of loose gravel, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, so it's kind of exhausting because we have to do all the filming, but when you are on the bike, yeah, just having fun.
It was a great day.
Depending on where you start in the area of Rijeka and where you will stay near Karlobag at the end of day 2, this stage covers around 185 kilometers with 65% of off-road. The views, the tracks and the riding are just exceptional. Be prepared for the long and deep gravel tracks that require some confidence on the bike, but still grading this day as one of the more easy ones. Not much room for error this morning. With doing the last adjustments on our bikes, fitting our gear and with our daily briefing, we're up for day 3. Our feelings are a bit mixed for the start. Why? Well, let us tell you.
Good morning and welcome to day 3 of ACT Croatia, ACT 2023. We had a quite smooth start this morning, not too early, not as early as usual, and we're off to our first off-road section, close by forest, which is a little, let's say, a little different place because it's still with it's still a forest with lots of active landmines. so we can only stay in the track, otherwise it's quite dangerous. You can still see within the town we just went through, you can still see the past history in terms of bullet holes in the buildings. It feels a little, a little hard, but yeah, that's part of the history. And we're now going to this forest, and we will stay, of course, we will stay on the track, and this is what we will recommend to you, highly recommend. Please do not any crazy stuff in this forest, just stay on the track.
For the first time, silence has spread among our group as we are seeing the signs left and right from the track ourselves. And with nature claiming back its place everywhere, we can slowly imagine the almost impossible challenge to clear areas like this from the fatal threats that are still around. We are not here for the thrill, we are here to raise awareness of the situation that people here still have to face every day.
Yeah, it is a sad reminder of the situation that these people were living, I think, 30 years ago. And even in the city, we were seeing bullet holes on the buildings in the main streets. So it's just we are here making a movie of adventure, and everything is great, and we are having fun. But this brings us back to the reality and what situations people are living all around the world, and at this time, especially Europe, still facing it. So it's a sad reminder, like I said before, of the evil that man can do.
I knew that here in Croatia there are those areas, but I've never been here before, so it's something new for me, and I think it's very crazy to just imagine that they're all over those landmines, and it's very dangerous to go there.
Yeah, I mean the mine area, there's something very kind of tragic about landmines. I've done a lot of work with UNICEF in landmines, and they're all over the world, and everyone tries to ban it, but there's certain countries who just won't sign the declaration not to use them anymore. And what happens is, like here, they lay mines all over the place, in places where the public go as well. So it's and then they make these big maps of where to go, and then once they've mapped them, they just tear up the maps and throw them away. So whichever is the winning side doesn't know where they are, doesn't know how to get rid of them. So it's tragic, and here in Croatia it's decades later, 20 years, 30 years since the war, and the landmines are still there.
It's a challenge to find the right words in this situation, and it's a challenge to decide which pictures to show you from this area. But if one thing is for sure, then it is that this morning has truly moved us. And maybe you'll feel the same when you might get here on your own one day.
Guys in the front, please wait.
What did you hit?
The loose.
Oh, the loose stuff. The freaking loose stuff.
Leaving the mine areas behind and having a connection stage on the road before we enter the Velebit Mountains on this day's track, we are still feeling a bit out of place and still have to sort ourselves. When you're riding a bike, there's plenty of space for swords under your helmet and behind your visor. So with a fresh mind, we're going on to meet up again in what will be one of the most fascinating scenarios of the day. Ascending through a dense forest, we will find ourselves almost by surprise in a mountain area that suddenly opens up in front of us.
Well, we started the day in the valley, and then we start climbing in a gorgeous road, and then it just opens up into this, and we know that from here to the front it will be always like this with amazing landscapes. So really looking forward to it.
Soak it all up. Beautiful here, absolutely beautiful.
A look on the GPS gives us a first glimpse on what's coming up. Almost never-ending gravel tracks unveil, soaking us more and more into this beautiful barren landscape and open our eyes for the upcoming views. Except some occasional 4x4s and some hikers here and there, we're almost alone up there. A bit of a surprise considering that we are in the middle of the summer season. But again, this is the difference of the Croatia we know from our holidays compared to the remote areas in the backcountry. What a great spot not only to capture all of these beautiful images, but also to enjoy every bit of the trek.
So we are done now with our photos shooting up here, and I just wanted to, let's say, collect some views of this great trek here with no one in front of me, because I'm the first one, or let's say the last one, but the first one of the media team going down. So, I mean, that's beautiful.
Winnetou country. We found Winnie 1. We call him Charlie, and now we're looking for Winnie 2. And he's supposed to be somewhere there.
If these landscapes look familiar to you, you might remember the classic Winnetou movies from the 60s. This place in the Velebit region was home to numerous productions of the famous Western movie series with Pierre Brice that a lot of us have been watching during our childhood. And with passing the Pierre Brice Memorial, you can choose to continue on the shorter, more easy alternative track that we will offer to descend into the valley. We, on the other hand, are turning around to start ascending even more into a track that becomes more of a deep gravel field with a lot of big rocks. So pick your line carefully and keep the momentum up. After this first steep climb, a steep and not less rocky descent will follow, and the rest of the upcoming trek will be challenging as well in many parts. In our eyes, absolutely worth the effort, with rewards like the most beautiful tracks ahead and even more remote than before.
Isn't this just lovely?
What a great place for lunch at ACT Croatia. And now that you're here, Filipe, I need to say thank you for scouting this. It's an amazing trek so far.
Yeah,
so what comes along the next days?
It's more or less the same, you're gonna see it, but and I need to say that I had really good help from Mariam from Touratech Slovakia, and yeah, and we did a lot of scouting here, and in the end this is what we have. It's really amazing.
It's amazing. I really can recommend you to do it.
A great spot for a lunch break at the halfway point of today's trek. The way down from the mountains to the rugged coastline of Zadar's backcountry has some more views ready for us. It's just amazing to be able to ride and enjoy these treks, but temperatures peaking out at around 35 degrees Celsius that day are really demanding to everyone. Once you are down in the valley, a small road brings you deep into a canyon, offering a well-deserved refreshment. A cascade of waterfalls, almost like painted, with a restaurant right beside it, is almost a must for a stop. So when you are here, enjoy a cold drink, dip your head into the fresh water and regain some energy for the upcoming part of day 3. Just as we are doing, the fun and the joy is back after all the heat and all the dust. The small and adventurous bridge, a bit more hidden in the back, is a good opportunity to cross the river and discover some more places at the other side. But for us, it's time to get back on the track. The section that is coming up, again, is a demanding bit of riding with a lot of deep gravel. So make sure to hold on easy on the handlebars and maintain your speed on the uphill sections. Sadly for us, our last off-road part of the day, as we have to do a detour to reach our hotel that day that's almost an hour away from the track. It's quite a big challenge to find proper accommodation for a group this size. So for you, there will be even more off-road to come.
Actually, I must say today,
day 3 was challenging for me, especially with the heavy bike, with the 19-inch front wheel, with the loose gravel. That was hard. Going upwards was technical, was hard because of the loose big stones, especially that one section we did.
Yeah, there's many opinions on how to ride loose gravel. I'm no expert, but I think momentum is definitely a friend on the bigger bikes. Loose hands, loose legs, let the bike move and keep going. Point and shoot.
Yeah, you can discuss if that is a perfect bike for that terrain or not, but I think it's just not the perfect rider for this terrain. No, I like the GS because it can do everything, as I always say. Can do the hard gravel, the loose gravel, the street, the twisty roads. For me, is something what we experienced in Pyrenees much better because it's hard rock. It can be even a little bit technical. I mean, I can live with the technical part and moving the bike sideways, but having swimming loose gravel is the most difficult for me.
Yeah, so this year I'm riding a Husqvarna Norden. I'm always riding different bikes, kind of the joker, and take what is left over. No, not really. I take what is new. And this year we have KTM and Husqvarna on board, and they gave us a Norden. And I was curious how this bike rides, and I need to admit it's a great bike. It's a nice engine, nice and easy settings for off-road, switching to road and on-road, off-road and on-road. It has a great suspension, a powerful engine. No, I'm really enjoying it. No pain on my butt, no pain in the shoulders, very comfortable. Yeah, it's a cool bike. It rides really well. You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me.
So even if we are leaving the track at this point, also the detour is a beautiful bit of riding through the countryside. We are away from the sea, crossing mountain ranges, going through valleys, just to enter the next mountains right after. A huge variety of landscapes and the vivid memories we've collected along the trek make this part of the ACT Croatia an unforgettable chapter in our adventure tale.
Woo! Well done. Good day riding.
Day 3, rated medium to hard, especially if you want to ascend into the mountains furthermore like we did, comes with around 185 kilometers and 55% of off-road to cover. Be respectful and cautious when crossing the mine area southeast of Gospic in the morning. Soak in the impressions in the mountains and find your time to regain some energy, especially on hot days like this. Arriving in the city of Knin, you will easily find a place to stay and some good food. 3 days behind us already, and by that we've also exceeded the halfway point of this trip. But it actually doesn't cause a wistful feeling, as there is so much more to discover on this journey, and day 4 has been very special, even since the first scouting run.
So do you know that today is day 4 and we need to take the ferry? How about you and boats? For me, it's terrible.
I've had terrible. I've done lots of boats on the TV shows that I've done, and I've had one boat that's almost sunk. I've had another speedboat that we had a wave that washed over us and we got abandoned and almost crushed into the rocks. Crossed from Timor to Darwin, and I spent 3 days in 12-meter swell.
But no problem with your stomach?
No problem with my stomach, but you get seasick.
Oh, I get seasick very easily. Even on the big ships, I'm trying to concentrate on the horizon. It never works. It never works.
You have to suck a boiled sweet, a hard sweet. And if you suck a sweet or something, then that helps with seasick. In the old days, on the boats, they used to suck a penny.
Day 4 of Adventure Country tracks here in Croatia. We have 2 options. There's one track along the minefield, along the border of Bosnia. This is something that is kind of semi-legal to go and a little difficult because the border patrol is kind of tricky there. So we're currently checking if that is possible in the future. The normal ACT track goes here through the mountains. It's going to be a long day because we have to catch the ferry to the island. This one will be probably only starting at 8 o'clock or something. So we'll have a long day ahead of us. Again, 12, 14 hours riding, but it will be fun.
Yes, a long day ahead. Even if this stage is relatively short in distance, the alternative track we are going to ride today does not cut off the claims of what should be a challenging ride.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day 4 of ACT Croatia. After a long day yesterday, we arrived safely at the hotel, which had 2 pools. This was quite a surprise. We rarely have pools on our hotels, so it was quite nice to have some fun pool time after a long riding day. Anyway, we're heading out today direction to Split, where we will catch the ferry in the evening to go on the island. But before we enter Split, we have a long day of riding. So good so far so good. Stay tuned, enjoy the ride, and see you later.
After our 45-minute connection stage to Knin, today's starting point, we are back on the track and are soon welcomed into the day by this beautiful waterfall, only a minute away from where the first off-road section starts. Riding smooth tracks along the river is a good warm-up for the more challenging parts later on.
Ooh, look at that. Just beautiful mountains. The whole thing is quite spectacular, really.
The wide open plains at the foothills of the Dinara Mountains east of us are offering some space to breathe the adventure and to soak in all the impressions. You can see far ahead, which opens your eyes and which is a good alternation compared to the more embedded tracks where you often have to navigate from corner to corner. This section is just fantastic to ride. When we have been starting to work on the track for this project in Croatia months ago, we've been scouting this central part of day 4 for numerous days. Entering every possible one-way track, finding alternatives, going on for hours, just to find out that a small section right before the connection point is impassable. So we went back to the drawing board on our GPS devices multiple times, looking for each possible small pass on various maps and starting all over again. But the result of all the hard work that goes into it pays off in the end. After leaving the plains, we are slowly approaching the point from where on you can choose. After some more research and clarification, the track splits into 2 distinct directions. On the one side, there's a trail going up into the mountains where risks and rewards are balanced on your own decisions. It's a route full of uncertainties, leading you high up into the mountains, surrounded by yet not fully cleared minefields again, with no prospect of cell phone coverage for hours. On the other side, there's the alternative track that we are going, leading us deeper into the remote valleys embedded in the soft glow of grassy hills and the dust of the riders in front of us. Do you take the path where the journey is predictable, or do you step onto the risky path where the adventure awaits? But be aware that both tracks will be challenging in some parts. So this journey through Croatia is not just a tour, it's a mosaic of experiences that will stay etched in your hearts forever. Trips like this are demanding for both the rider and the equipment, and for most of us at least, we're happy to have some time to rest in between the riding.
Yeah, the reality of product testing here on the ACT for Touratech is quite well. I mean, most of the bikes are equipped with our equipment, with our panniers, with everything. I dropped the bike twice. Actually, one just crashed on the loose gravel, and the other one I just dropped the bike, fell over to the other side. And that happens quite often. I mean, we're turning around 20, 40, 50 times per day for the film crew to do another loop. And I mean, the people are wearing our clothes, they are wearing our helmets, they are wearing they're using our products on the bikes. And as you can see on the bikes, I mean, we really push them hard through the mud here and through the dirt. You'll see it in the video. I mean, we're having fun, and that's what it's all about. I mean, this product should work so that you can have fun riding.
It's about lunchtime, but instead of enjoying a fancy meal in a restaurant, our trackside lunch breaks are a bit different.
Okay, our lunch is like this. We pick up lunchbox in the morning on the hotels, and we don't have time to go to the restaurants to find nice places. It's like that. We stop when we have opportunity, and we eat something, and we go because our schedule is so tight that it's not easy to find a place and do relax lunch. It's always like this. We stop, we eat, we go.
The food is really good, so it's also worth to stop for the food. And like this place, it's very interesting because there are so many abandoned houses, and you don't see something like this in Germany. So it's very interesting to be here and have a lost place like this one.
Continuing our trip, zigzagging the valleys below the Dinara Mountains, we are facing rough nature tracks where loose rocks go hand in hand with climbing up and going down again.
You don't want to find neutral up this hill here. Got it's all about momentum, getting up the hill, keep it going, look well ahead as to where you want to go, where you want to be, and then up you go.
What has been a well-predictable ride with a clear view on the track just a few weeks earlier on our last scouting has become densely overgrown with grass and bushes now, making this part of day 4 a bit of a gamble if you're not careful with where to place your wheels. Up until a point where the track has almost disappeared and some guidance was needed to get everyone through. Narrow and technical, but really a great ride that raises our spirits.
I think it was... Okay, I'm perfect.
And here we are in the middle of the jungle.
In the jungle, the lions sleep here tonight.
I love it.
Oh yeah, lovely. Well. I'm just gonna find some big rocks and rooster you
already did it.
But you didn't get me that well.
No. It was also very small puddle.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Was a try. Was worth a try.
No, but you did get me. So it's war now. It's all over. You're not in my bedroom tonight.
That's okay.
Again.
What? I'm supposed to be upset.
Even though it's a relatively short track today in order to reach one of the ferries in Split later on, it's a track fully packed of highlights that often are just uncovered from a rider's perspective. And with the 2 long alternative tracks, you could easily spend an extra day on this stage before continuing to the island of Hvar for the final stretch of the ACT Croatia. Finding ourselves in the middle of the forest more towards the end of this day, gravel changes with sand in most places. But with riding on the loose stuff for days now, also you should be well prepared if a deep patch catches you by surprise. As much as we would like to go on further and further on tracks like this, our time schedule is calling us, and with the first rain showers catching us on our ride, it's time to hit the road again soon and get on the way to the ferry port in Split.
This day was amazing. I really enjoyed this riding day today. We had so nice gravel roads, wasn't it? It was such an amazing day. Today? Yeah. You remember?
Today was my favorite day. So far my favorite day. Yesterday was my favorite day. Today was so far my favorite. But today was intense.
I would say great track because we had changing conditions due to weather, due to surface, big rocks, some tricky sections, which was great fun for me because I love that tricky technical stuff.
Great day, amazing, one crash on me, all the possible landscape, all the possible terrain, almost all weather. We miss really big sun, but amazing. I'm tired. We are waiting for the ferry. I think will be the ferry of the party, because tomorrow, when almost all people are relaxing, me and the fellow behind this camera, we have to work.
With a cruise time of approximately 2 hours ahead, the bike secured for the passage and us trying to find a comfortable place, we will end our day as the last sunlight slowly disappeared and just in time to escape from the thunderstorm that approaches from the mountains. Day 4 of the Adventure Country Tracks Croatia will offer 2 different alternative tracks. One going up into the rugged mountains where caution is advised and one leading through the valleys below. Both averaging at around 70% of off-road that is rated hard due to the challenges that pop up in front of you by surprise from time to time. Even with a distance in between 130 to 160 kilometers, you should plan enough time for this stage. Arriving on the sun-kissed island of Hvar in the heart of summer, we take a leisurely day off after 4 pretty demanding stages so far. Enjoying the crystal clear waters, picturesque coastlines and the vibrant atmosphere. What a blissful prelude to our final day of adventure.
Last day ACT, Croatia. Last day, already. Feels like we just started. Now it's already last day. But it will be awesome last day. We're still on the island Hvar and we're doing kind of off-road experience on Hvar. So I'm pretty much looking forward to the day. See you soon.
Well, good morning everybody. It is a glorious morning, so beautifully warm. We're heading up into the mountains. This is our last day's riding. We're all flying back tomorrow, so that's all a bit, a bit sad. It's funny how you look forward to doing all these things and going on your motorcycle holiday, and it seems like months and months and months away, and then suddenly you're on the bike trip and you're heading up to beautiful countryside like this. And then suddenly you're thinking, shit, it's all over tomorrow.
Not long until we are leaving the tarmac to discover the more unknown parts of the island.
What a great track right after the hotel.
Yeah, something a little sad about the last day, but have to cast that aside and enjoy the moment.
Hvar Island, one of the sunniest spots in Europe, boasting over 2,700 hours of sunshine per year, covers an area of approximately 297 square kilometers. The tracks in the beginning on the west side of the island are often narrow, overgrown by spiky bushes and permeated by somewhat tricky to ride ruts. Despite its relatively compact size, the island offers a rich diversity of landscapes, including lush vineyards, olive groves, pine forests and a picturesque coastline. On our trip, we'll see it all. The sudden views that open up along the track will often invite you for a stop, and if you want to get a more elevated perspective, Don't miss out on going all the way up to Fort Napoleon, overviewing the coastline and the old port of Pevard town.
Hot day today, very hot today. But it's good tracks up in the mountains, a little bit of a breeze, really nice.
Despite all the beauty, we are facing one of the hottest days on our trip so far. Here, early in July, with temperatures of around 30 degrees Celsius and around 70% of humidity. Be aware that temperatures will rise even more towards August. Continuing our ride at the coast for a little while, we soon are turning towards the Midland again, gaining some height with a fresh breeze and in expectation to some more incredible tracks to discover. The gravel here is more predictable and hard-packed than on the days before, so we are able to share some of our concentration, enjoying the landscapes around us.
This is very, very impressive riding. This is some of the nicest riding we've done. The tracks are pretty incredible, but just the views on the mountains is just spectacular.
It truly is. If you want a compact form of the ACT Croatia in just one day, then this day is for you. Our, let's say, grand finale of a trip that has taken us from Istria through the rough terrain of the Velebit and the foothills of the Dinara Mountains all the way here to a place easy to fall in love with as an adventure bike rider. As our motorcycles roar to life for the last 50 kilometers of our trip, it's 50 times more the chance to embrace the adventure one more time. It's 50 times to feel the gentle breeze from the Adriatic Sea, and it's 50 times the opportunity to create more memories of this breathtaking journey.
Wow. Just a beautiful beach after beautiful beach, isn't it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, just before we get to the ferry port, all the fun is over. It has been a wonderful pleasure riding with all of you on these glorious roads all the way to Croatia. I feel very lucky that I can be part of this little movie and trip and friendship group. So thank you all of you for taking part and being such wonderful, wonderful people. And yeah, there you go.
Before we reach the finish of the ACT Croatia, it's time to wrap up day 5. 115 exceptional kilometers that let you explore the island from a lesser-known perspective. A trek with 70% of off-road in average that takes you from the beautiful coastline through the Midlands, crossing the entire island from west to east. Embedded in this beautiful scenery, the ACT Croatia comes to an end. With arriving at the lighthouse on the very eastern tip of the island, we have reached the finish point of a trip that has once again fueled our spirits of adventure.
Guys, you did it!
Cheers, Benny. Well done.
Dinner is the best.
Oh, absolutely. Ralph, pleasure.
Yes,
pleasure.
you too.
Right, Chief. Another one.
Yeah.
Glad you have been here.
Fun. Thank you very much.
Nice track.
Oh, well,
thank you.
Yeah, we did.
It was a pleasure.
Spider-Man.
And the camera.
Good boy. We made it. This is how you look like when you finish ACT Croatia. It is exhausting, it is hot, and it's probably the most difficult track we've done so far. But it's great riding. It's great riding, spectacular. Biggest group we ever had, but best organization that we ever had. And with that kind of off-road part, it's necessary to be very well organized.
Yeah. So happiness raised day by day, and so it's the last day. So happiness is actually quite good. Yeah.
It was really great. I didn't know what it would be like to ride the ACT in Croatia, but I guess this will be one of my favorite off-road tracks, and I can't wait to get here with my friends and show them this lovely track and place because it's so beautiful. And the last thing I want to do now is jump in this crystal clear water because it's so warm and it looks so beautiful, so we just have to get in there.
Finished second ACT, and I have to say, I'm talking to a lot of the guys here and everybody, they're all saying that this is probably one of the best ones, one of the best organized. So I'd love to thank everybody for making this happen. And I have to say, if I've done the one in the UK and I thought that was really good fun, but this one is epic. And I think if you really like a bit of off-road and a bit of a challenge, I think maybe this is the one. Maybe start off with the one in the UK or one of the other ones and then come here. But the Croatian people, the food, the roads, the gravel, it's all just pretty awesome, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it's number 3 for me. And I must say, I really like the Pyrenees. I was absolutely in love with the UK. But Croatia is, I think, the highest amount of off-road riding, and that's the reason why I really like it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of gravel, even with some tricky parts. So be prepared when you ride the ACT Croatia.
Yeah, one more in the books. I've said it before. Pictures, words, videos. They can only give you a taste of the adventure, but they can't really describe how good the ACT adventures are. And ACT Croatia has been absolutely top class from the minute we left Pula.
I enjoyed it. It was a challenge sometimes with the steep hill climbs and going down with all the rocks. Not always my favorites, but we saw a lot of cool tracks and really amazing country, a lot of friendly people. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good adventure.
Yes, my first ACT. I go a lot of rallies and so on, but this was a really great impression for me because it's not time racing slots and so on. I can only say it was great ACT 2023.
It's running?
Yeah.
Is it now running?
Yeah.
So we're supposed to say something now? Okay. So yeah, here we are on the end of ACT Croatia. I'm happy to have done this now. It's a year now. Yeah, it passed 1 year since the last ACT UK, and lots of changes has been made within the AV the past year. We did some organizational restructuring, and and now we're here with the new project.
Yeah, for ACT Croatia, the work of course started a long time ago. Filippo took care of this. We had the help also from the Touratech distributor in Slovakia. It started many months ago. We did the scouting, and then the film crew came here. We had to make the organization for 18 people this time that were here executing the project. But it was the biggest, the most well-organized one, and we are now turning the page already, looking for the next one.
And when I just summarize what we've done the last 7-8 years, what came out of what was initiated by a funny idea, having some beers. This is, I think, the 7th track we're doing in the 8th year, and there are 2,500 members, or even more than 2,500 members in the foundation. The last video has been watched almost 600,000 times. I think Croatia is even a better one. So it's a great achievement on the one hand. On the other hand, I'm really happy that more and more people are riding it.
Yeah, that's the most. I think the most important part is that more people are riding it. And yeah, we're happy to see.
Yeah, whatever. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're here.
Fuck. I was sitting down there going to the toilet.
You always need to ruin anything we do.
No, I was having the toilet and then I was trying to keep quiet, but I couldn't bend down any longer. So I thought I'd come up and just say, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for being
part
of it.
You did a really good job. And you know, you could try a little harder next year. We will.
One more time!
So here we are, adventure walking tracks. Stefan is leading us.
What a nice spot to have lunch at ACT Croatia. It's okay.
Gib mir mal ein.
It is okay? No, it's really nice.
Okay, so Teresa, now for the record book. How was it the second time? Did it feel any better?
This is more of a like a fuck moment.
Now that I turned on the camera, you're saying fuck moment.
It's a wow moment.